I find it so baffling the fact that people still don't go to the gym solely because I go to the gym, right? And I've been going for 3 years. Right now, I'm not in my lean state. So I weighed myself this morning. I was 198 pounds. But, I still have a decent, like, frame. I have wide shoulders, whatever, right? And it's like you can go for trying to become strong, trying to become aesthetic, which is typically the two different routes people tend to take. I go for more for aesthetic, so I don't care for my strength as much, although I still am stronger than like the average human or whatever. But the gym does so much for you, like so much outside of like the typical benefits you would think of going to the gym, becoming stronger, being in shape and all that. It's like I don't even care for none of those things. If I'm being quite honest, like they like I just said, I train for more for aesthetics than for strength. So like becoming stronger isn't something tied for me to go into the gym. But all the other things that the gym has done for me in these 3 years that I've gone has changed so much. Things like your discipline, your consistency, your view on life, um, being able to do the hard things, having an interesting hobby, being in shape, your diet. It's just so much things that come from going. It's like anything in life. Anything that you do, you learn a lot from, and you can take the things within. You can take and grasp things from doing certain things. Like if you go into business, you learn how to be more rational, how to take how to take more risks. If you go to school, you learn how to be on time. You learn how to always get your work done on deadlines. You learn how to talk to people. It's like obviously there's lots of things that you can do and learn from doing different hobbies and different activities and whatnot. But the gym is I feel like the gym is a gateway to success. And obviously everybody determines success in different ways. For me personally, I feel like there's so much different things that the gym does for you. And just to go into a few of them, right? So you obviously have physical health. You become, I used to be fat. I used to be 5'4", 204 pounds. Now I'm 6 foot. Right now I'm 198, but I still have a pretty decent shape. And I'm aiming to be like 190 or whatever, right? So physically you look better, you feel better, you're healthy. I don't actively talk about the gym to people, but every time I talk to anybody, they always go immediately off rip, oh, you're huge, oh, you work out, this and that. Like it's such an easy conversation starter for people to come approach me. And I'm quite introverted, so I don't approach people. So it's a good way for me to meet people, network, just based off how I look physically, right? Clothes fit better. I feel better about what I wear. I dress more comfortably. And like even sometimes before I used to really care about how I dressed, and I would be so self-conscious. I would always pull my shirt down, and I would always buy really large clothing because I didn't want to show off my figure or whatnot. Now I wear like, I don't want to say tight clothes, but clothes that fit me. Like, it fits me not because the clothes are tight, but because my body has gotten bigger. So like my sleeves wrap around my arms. Like even this shirt, you can see my chest. It's clothes look better. You have a good shape, and it's tailored to you. It's as if it's tailored to you, right? So you look good, way better physically. You feel better physically, mentally. I think this is the biggest aspect. Like for me, if I don't go to the gym, it almost feels like I ruined the day or I failed in a sense, right? I was more like more so on that type of like, oh, I failed or whatever. I'm kind of easing off of that as I'm trying to focus on other endeavors as I've gotten into shape. But like you get dopamine, you get endorphins. It gives you time to think. You feel better about yourself. Your self-esteem is high. Your confidence is high. You in just the activity in itself, just to go in there, you do a hard thing that most people don't want to do. You're able to listen to music and have a good time. You're not spending your time like, when you are someone who, like with me, right? I go to the gym, so I don't smoke or drink. And given so, I spend a lot of my weekends and my time at the gym because while everybody else is out drinking, smoking, partying, it's not what I enjoy doing. And if I did do them, it would only reverse my progress in the gym. And that's what I care about, continuously getting better and progressing in the gym. So given that I don't drink, smoke, or party, I save money in that time. I save money, I save time, I save effort, energy, all of that. Like I don't have to go out to the club and, pay for entry fee, pay for bottles, pay for girls or whatever. I'm at the gym getting better, progressing. I don't drink, so I don't get I'm not putting on all this. I'm not drinking, consuming all these extra calories. I'm not smoking and eating all the food in the fridge because of munchies. It's, in my eyes, if you like drinking, smoking, and partying, good for you. Do what you got to do. It's not for me, and I feel like I don't want to be like, oh, I'm try hard and this and that. I feel like because I started going to the gym relatively at an early age, I never had that sort of pathway to enjoy and almost become addicted to the whole party lifestyle. And given so, maybe people consider me boring. Maybe people do consider me boring and I don't have fun and all that. For me, it's like, I don't care. I don't want none of that. I want to be continuously progressing. If I went to the club and I was drinking and getting with all these girls and smoking and all that, it would feel like a waste of time and money for me. It's like, what am I really gaining out of this? It's like, yeah, it's very short-term pleasure that I don't care for. And that's another thing the gym does. It teaches you how to get rid of this idea of short-term pleasure, doing everything right now just for like the quick gain or whatever, instead of doing what's actually worth doing, which is waiting, working on things that are worth it, and these things that are typically worth it take longer. They give you that, replacing short-term pleasure for long-term gratification is the key, because you get this long-term mindset and you start aiming for big goals and you actually will achieve them because you understand the work it takes. When people are trying to get rich quick overnight, it's like, that's not how shit works. If you want to build something that's worth buying, like in a business, you want to build something that's worth doing, like getting rich is going to take time. And a lot of people don't have this sort of mindset around those things, because for me personally, I gained that sort of mindset of do things for the long term and see how much, you'll see how it's actually something that's tangible rather than whatever, when you get, let's just say you want to get rich, right? Getting rich takes time. You need to build businesses, you need to have skills, you need to have knowledge, right? And somebody's like, oh, I'm trying to get rich quick, right? So they're trying to do all these different types of business models or whatever the case may be, and then they don't get rich quick. They wonder, why is this wrong? This blah blah blah. It's like, you're not putting enough time and effort into one thing to actually become good at it, to become rich. When you go to the gym, like me, it took me 2 years to become skinny. When I was fat, all I wanted to do was be skinny and have abs, and then it took 2 years of working out every day, 1 to 2 hours, doing cardio, weight training, learning all the ins and outs, and covering myself up because I didn't want anyone to see me, to finally wearing a tank top. It took me 2 years to wear a tank top to the gym. And it's just things like that. It's like, you understand it's a long-term game. It's not something like, if I want to become fit, it wouldn't happen in a day, a week, a month, 6 months, even a year. Things that are worth doing take time. So the whole mental aspect of going to the gym, it's really, really impactful. What else? Just things that I have listed are these traits that you build. You become a disciplined human being. You understand the importance of consistency, perseverance. Just there's a lot of times I'm in the gym and I don't feel like being there. I want to be at home. I want to be chilling. I want to, eat good food or whatever, right? But I have a theory, not theory. It's so I've cut out a lot of things out of my life to maintain my physique or whatever. I told you I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't eat food I don't eat brown food because it's very heavy in oil and it just isn't good for you. You can't track the calories on it because you don't know what's really in it, given that your parents are cooking it or whatever. I haven't drank soda in 4 or 5 years, and I used to drink soda all the time. I try to avoid juice, I try to avoid fast food, and I'm able to do all those because I have a long-term goal in mind. I know if I do these little things here and there, it's only gonna hurt me in the long run, right? And so it's like, if I go to the gym and then I go eat fast food, it's like, why did I even go to the gym? You cancel each other out. So I need to go to the gym, eat something healthy. So it forces me to eat healthier. And then sometimes it's like, oh, if you break the streak, right? Eating some fast food every now and then is not gonna hurt you. You won't become fat overnight. And although that's true for me personally, I'm so disciplined in the sense that if I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna cut something out, I'm gonna cut it out fully, because I don't even wanna dabble in it even a little bit. Because once you do that, say I haven't drank soda in 5 years. If I drink it a little bit now, maybe next week I'll have a little bit more craving for it, and I'll be like, I drank it last week, I'll just drink it again. What difference is a week? It's like, once you build a long timeline of you not doing something, it's easier to stick to that streak rather than breaking it every now and then and just fiddling about. I don't want that. I want to keep my long-term streak. I want to maintain it. I want to say I didn't drink it for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, and the only way to do that is not to even dabble in it a little bit. Because when you cut something out, you should cut it out fully. Don't do it little by little. You only just keep doing it. And so much other things get better. When you start going to the gym, you have higher energy levels in your day-to-day. I know people that are like, they sleep for 10 to 12 hours and they wake up tired. It's like, there's obviously something wrong with your body. You just slept for 10 to 12 hours and you're still tired. Like, how are you not well rested? You sleep better because you're actually using up energy that's stored in your body. You're not just, it's someone who just sits around in a couch potato and is a couch potato all day, isn't using any of their energy. So what makes you think the sleep is going to restore it? It's still full. When you go to the gym, you force yourself to almost like, put in effort, put in energy, and you're using that up. And so when you go to sleep, you're actually tired and you're not laying in bed all like that for like hours trying to fall asleep. You fall asleep relatively quickly because you're tired, and you're actually using your body properly, especially if you have like an office job or you're in school for 8 hours where you're just sitting around. It's like your body's becoming useless in a sense. But on top of that, you get self-esteem, you look good, you feel good, you get confidence, you glow differently, and you're able to hold yourself in, whether it's like a man with another man, where you're like, if this guy ever tried to fight me, I know I could handle myself, or this and that. Or if you could talk to a woman, that you're in shape and you should feel good about the way you look and feel, and you look good naked, or whatever the case may be. That confidence really does radiate off of you if you are willing to put in the work to go to the gym and stuff like that. What else does it do? It just opens the door for lots of stuff too. It's like if you are the type of guy who likes girls with, big booty Latinas or whatever the case may be, where do you think they are? Like the ones that aren't getting BBLs are in the gym, putting in work, trying to get that fat ass. So it's like, if you're a guy who likes girls with nice bodies, you could be at the gym meeting these women. Same thing for girls. If you like guys that have abs and big muscles and a big back and those type of guys that you're into, you should be in the gym looking for those guys. Nonetheless, you can meet friends that have the same mind as you. Obviously, if you're in the gym trying to work towards something, they probably are too. Like I said, it's a good social interaction starter. People come up to me, do you work out? They'll ask for advice, this and that. You start learning about your own body. You start learning about diet. You learn about how food and sleep affects you. You learn about stimulation in terms of endorphins, dopamine, just regular day-to-day stimulation. You have a lot of time to yourself to have conversations and think about what you want to do next. I feel like a lot of times we humans, we have problems and we avoid them, right? And we avoid them by scrolling through Instagram, watching YouTube videos, watching a show, going to the movie, whatever. We find all these little distractions. When you're in the gym, you have a lot of clarity. Sometimes people distract themselves with music or whatever the case may be, but if you're really in there, maybe you have music in, maybe you don't. Sometimes I have music in the background, but I'm still thinking. It gives you so much time to yourself, and you can't really I also don't use my phone in the gym. I find it as a major distraction, so I just don't do it. And so every time I'm in the gym, it's like my clearest time to think. It feels like shower thoughts. It feels like late night thoughts in your room, in your bed alone. It's like, if you like that feeling of when you're actually thinking and solving problems and you're in your head, like, okay, what am I going to do next? What is this and that? The gym is perfect for you because you have that ability while you're also working on yourself. It's like you're physically active, so your brain needs some sort of activity to do, so it starts thinking. And a lot of people avoid that. Like, you would think such a simple concept to critically think and solve problems and think about what you're going to do next, but people avoid this for as long as they can because they aren't doing the right things, they aren't putting the right inputs, so typically they even know their outcomes aren't going to be what they want it to be, but they're not willing to put in the work for the current inputs. And on top of all of that, it's just a healthy habit to have. Like, for me, I think I'm a little bit addicted to the gym, and any addiction is a bad addiction because it keeps you crippled. You should never have a tie or need to do something. And so I'm cutting it down. That's why I stopped going on the weekends. But even the whole time that I said it was addiction, it's still a healthy addiction. Like, you tell people, I think I'm addicted to the gym, and they're like, oh my God, I wish I had that problem, this and that. So it's like, even in its worst scenario, me having an addiction to something, the gym, it was still healthy. I was still getting in shape. I was still watching what I was eating. I always looked good. And it was a healthy addiction. It was a healthy habit. And on top of all of it, increases your lifespan. And if it's like, if one of your goals is to make money, and you know money takes time to make, getting fit will allow you to, it gives you more time to make that money. Like, it's easier to make $1 million in 50 years compared to making $1 million in 10 years, right? So if you increase your lifespan, you in theory have more time to gain the wealth, to gain the success, or whatever you want. So it's like, realistically, there's very little negatives that come from going to the gym. And if you can shape your mind to understanding why you want to go to the gym, it becomes very obvious and apparent why you need to be going every day or 3 times a week or whatever you need based on how much time you have or whatever. It just becomes so much more like logical to go than rather not go. And I hope some people that are watching this start going to the gym and realize, you know, the things that I said, something's going to be stuck in your head. They're going to repeat, like, you know what he said made sense. I'm going to go to the gym for this reason. Over time, go for 3 months, go for 6 months to build a habit. You'll start seeing everything. What's real will prosper, and you'll see.